Good evening, beloved to Christ. Earlier tonight, I had a nice conversation with an old friend who mentioned watching one of these meditations, the one where I talked about how telephone poles in the desert are struck disproportionately, and that had to do with a lack of focus. And he said, I think you just kind of missed the obvious there. Um, it was hit because people can be really stupid. And I said, um, yeah, okay, that's a good point. He said, "There, I just gave you your topic for tonight, and I love a challenge." And I thought, you know what, I can make that work because we should be thankful for stupid people. I heard a psychologist, a clinical psychologist, say recently that about 20% of the population lacks a baseline of intelligence to understand basic directions. They're just not good enough at reading and with verbal language to understand basic directions. So you can't get mad at people for not knowing what they don't know. And this is a time when tensions are high and we are very quick to judge people. And when we see people doing things like breaking quarantines and gathering in groups when they shouldn't gather, when we see people acting in irrational ways like buying gargantuan amounts of toilet paper that no one family could need in a year, and that doesn't make sense to us, and we think, what's wrong with people? Well, it could be very basic. It could be something that they don't have any choice in. And as a matter of fact, people who are of significantly lower than average intelligence, they're going to have paid a price for that detriment many, many times over. This should just remind us we never quite know what's going on in someone's life. We never know what cross he or she is bearing. Conversely, people who are at the other end of the bell curve, people who are among the most intelligent, are oftentimes also among the most unhappy because they can't unknow some of the truths that they know. And they don't know what to do with some of the knowledge that they've been given. We have, of course, right within the story of Eden, the knowledge of the tree of good and evil. And in some ways, that's basic to the human condition, that we know things that we aren't fully equipped to handle. And we have responsibilities at times that seem outside of our wheel well. And that's true whether you have an IQ of 85 or an IQ of 150. We all need help. We need one another. We all need a little bit of grace. We have a God who helps us, who meets us where we are, who is with us in our affliction. And what he asks of us is to look out to each other and to cover up for the sins and the shortcomings of our fellow human being. And so show a little bit of patience for people who maybe aren't acting the way that they ought to act, especially if you don't know them very well. Pray for them, show kindness to them, and try to do your part to love your brother and to give to each other even as God has given to you. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.